Item 2, which is a local law to amend the county government law of Nassau County to require the public disclosure of campaign contributions and to affirm such contributions were not made with an expectation of a public benefit. Motion, please. Moved by legislator Snow, seconded by legislator Nicolau. Aye. Any comments regarding the local law? Any public comment? There being none, all those in...
Yes.
And I did submit a slip.
I know you did, it's right here.
Just trying to make sure I follow
It's
protocol.
right here.
There you go. We can start out right. Meta J. Meriday, Baldwin resident. It's a good thing. I want to echo the appreciation to Minority Leader Abrahams, because I was also here at that last session when the majority of the body voted to approve those fees, onerous fees that even the county clerk was against, and it was definitely impacting her office. But with regard to this particular local law, I agree that it really barely scratches the surface, because we're in a region, we're in a county, we're in a state that has serious challenges facing it, not just with regard to public disclosure of campaign contributions, but we have an ethical crisis among our elected officials. And it really is getting tiresome for those of us who continue to bear the brunt of these taxes when we get these mailings, these expensive mailings that no one can seem to justify. But then we come here to say to you that the county appointed committees that are saying this is what you need to do and you can't even decide to do that. This is getting to be ridiculous. It is getting to be ridiculous. Not only are we not even addressing public disclosure, but we're not even effectively addressing the contracting aspects as a whole. We continue to violate the law. And no, I'm not going to take the time to submit the questions that I was asked to submit last time. When you have paid representation, I get it. You legislators are not making quote-unquote enough money. Granted, the amount of money that you're making would not be considered the poverty level in New York State or Nassau County. But guess what? You're not considering the perks that you all get. Parking, you get an office, you get staff, you get support services that most of us that are still sitting out here losing money as we're sitting here as you're wasting our money are not getting any opportunities to address. So, if it takes this to start the ball rolling, then I support it. But it is a small ball going into a major hole of deceit, corruption, lack of consideration, and ethical violations that I'm telling you, the taxpayers, those of us that are staying here trying to protect our own interests as other residents who are disgusted or packing up in the middle of the night and running out from all of their responsibilities. We need to do a better job. We definitely need to do a better job. So if someone can speak to why is it taking so long just to get to this step, so I don't have to read about it in Newsday with whoever else may be sitting behind that bench that might be indicted, convicted, or arrested, I would like to know that a lot sooner. Thank you.
Any other comments?
Yeah, well, since I have some time left.
I don't know how much time you have, but I may continue.
Thank you. While I'm here, because I don't think I can stay all day for all of these other issues, just want to speak quickly about number 11, which I brought up before about that Atlantic project. And someone had mentioned to me last time, I guess from the Department of Public Works, about the good faith effort. Someone might want to check out the Office of Federal Contract Compliance Programs with regard to Executive Order 11246 and the verifiable contract participation rate. As it pertains to minority and women businesses, it's 10%. As it pertains to service-disabled veteran businesses, it's 3%. So just for Public Works to say, well, we provide our good faith effort when we do these contracts and this outreach is not legally enough. So when you talk good faith effort, you have to also include the verifiable participation component. And if you do not have 10% of minority and women business, and 3% of service disabled, veteran business participation, you're in violation of the law. And our federal dollars, which comes to the state, and we're always looking for state and federal dollars, we should not be receiving that money in all due conscience because we are in violation of the law.
Your 3% expired.
Fine. One last thing. I would like to see at some point the Veteran-Owned Business Act that is gathering dust, that I was largely involved with developing the framework with legislator Curran. I would like to see that on one of those blank pieces of paper that constantly gets printed from the Veteran Services Committee. It is a disservice to our veteran contractors and our veteran employees and veteran students who are fleeing this county because they can't afford to live here. But we have the audacity to wear a flag and flip a pancake and be in a parade, but we don't want to give them a decent job and a contract so they can stay here and raise their families. Now, I'm done.
Thank you very much. Minority Leader Abraham.
Just really quickly, I think Ms. Meredith has brought up an issue that I think deserves some concern from, especially as we're talking about the contract process. Mr. Chalmers, he just came back in. Maurice, if you could come up to the podium, please, real quick. I don't think you heard everything that Mrs. Meredith was talking about, but she has talked about in the past the unfair and the county in regards to its contract process when it comes to MWBE and veterans. I don't know if your office has the capability to actually do an analysis, but I would like to see an analysis to see if what she is saying in regards to the federal government, which I have some understanding of what she's saying, if what she's saying in terms of the requirements of the federal government to do a best effort to whether it be women, minorities, or veterans, or whatever the group is, if we are not doing that, does your office have the capability to survey a sample of contracts to see whether or not the county is in compliance to what the federal government best efforts are?
We certainly we could go back and take a look at that. We have the report and we have the compliance numbers. I think it should be fairly easy enough to line those two numbers up with what the federal requirements are and
If you could, yeah, I would like to see that. I mean, obviously I know the holiday season is approaching, is here with us, but I mean, as I said before, I mean, based on how we feel about the contract process, I'm sure as everybody feels about the contract process, we would want to make sure that we're in compliance with that component of the contract process as well.
We'll do some research and then we'll have a report to the entire body.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Jones.
Okay. There'll be no other comments on
Yes, there is.
item
I
2.
have one more comment.
Did you put in the slip?
Yes, I did. It's about the
Item
contracts
2.
that you were discussing.
Yes.
Happy holidays to you all.
Your name is, ma'am.
What do I hit?
Here I am, happy holidays. Since you're all talking about the contracts, Dominica Califano, since you're all talking about contracts and stuff, to presiding officer, I would like to just put it on record that as of yet, I have not received my FOIL request for about a year ago on Operation and VIP Splash, on requesting for all copies of all bids. I've been up here for over a year asking, everyone says yes, 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 I received nothing yet. The other thing I want to put on record is, as of May 2014, with the Rules Committee votes on the second half of VIP Splash and Operation Splash, $8 million, that you decided to pass up to $12 million contract. You, Ms. Rose Walker, you're related to Mr. Walker. Why didn't you ever recuse yourself from that contract that you were fighting so strongly for to be passed on May 4th, 2014? I just wanted to put that on record for over 2 years that I've been doing this. Happy holidays to all of you.
Listen to me. I don't think you're fair. Rose Walker does not sit on the Rules Committee and therefore does not vote on those contracts.
That's it.
As the transcript's right here, I can show you, it came from your office, that here it was that she did vote on that.
And die on.
Okay.
That's it. Since
Happy
you put my
holidays.
name up, I have a right to defend it. Any other comments? There being none, all those in favor of item 2, the local law to amend the county Government law of Nassau County to require the public disclosure of campaign contributions, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, the item passes unanimously. Okay, all right, now, I'm going to go out of order, all right, a little bit. I think that in all due respect, we have two items, item 12 and item 13, resolution 247 and a resolution 248. A resolution confirming the appointment of Linda Green as a member of the Nassau County Community College Board of Trustees. And number 13 is a resolution to confirm the county executive's appointment of Linda Green to the Nassau County College Board of Trustees. A motion, please. Second. By Legislator Walker, second by Legislator, who is that? Second. Okay. I believe Linda Green is here. Come on, Linda, would you please come on up? I know you've been sitting here for a while, so I think if the appointment is worthy of your presenting why you are a suitable candidate for the College Board of Trustees.
Well, I've been involved in education since I was 20 years old, and I graduated from Queens College. I was a teacher for many years, moved up to assistant principal, moved up to principal, and I served mostly in the community of Jamaica, Queens, moved on to principal in Rego Park, Queens. And when I retired, I started to work for Truro College, which I continue to work for. I'm the supervisor of student teachers, and I teach a course in literacy on the graduate level. In the course of my career, I've been a UFT rep, and I've also been the administrator on the other side of that table. So I know what it is to be involved with personnel, and I think that's one of the key issues in this position. I also was involved in the capital improvements in my school, the intergovernmental relations with elected officials. In my past, it seems a long time ago, actually it was, I was the town clerk of North Hempstead, so I have been an elected official as well. And I think all of those things put together make me, I hope, a good candidate for this position. I've spent my lifetime dealing in schools at every level, and I'd like to continue.
Any comments or questions for Ms. Green? Legislator Jacobs.
Hi, Ms. Green. It's a pleasure to meet you. I had never had the occasion to meet you before. Certainly, what you just described as your background sounds to be very educationally oriented. As a prior teacher, that's meaningful to me. Most of us up here value the Nassau Community College in Nassau County as a jewel in our crown, we like to say, because it's that important to us. And I would like, just personally, from reading the newspapers, that's all, I would like to say I would hope that you would look at it very seriously, and I'd like to see the headlines get away from the inside bickering within the Board of Trustees into something that people are pulling together for the better good, because that's what's bothering me a lot. I value this college so much, I always have. I've been here for 20 years, and I'd like to see it continue to be a shining star. And what I've seen recently in the last couple of years, I'd say, is very disturbing, especially even when I was presiding officer going back, when actually the chancellor from the state had to be brought up to calm down the antagonistic attitude going on the board. I look forward to you using your experience to bring a level of calmness and well thought out decisions. I mean, I'm not dictating to you what to do, but I'm just saying that sometimes we prior teachers have a way of listening to it and then figuring out what's right. Because I'll tell you honestly, it scares me right now. And I hope and I look forward to you bringing a good perspective to the board.
Well, thank you very much. You're a colleague although it might have been a while ago when you were a colleague. Yeah, I think that my background would help to calm the waters you're talking about. I certainly hope so, and I will try my best. I consider this a great opportunity to serve, and I've spent my life serving one way or another, so this is just the next step, the next page in my life.
Just try to keep everybody, I'm giving you a tremendous thing you have to do. Keep everyone calm there, and let them keep their eye on the ball of what this college offers the children, the young people who just cannot go away to college, can't afford to, what this offers within our bounds, and I would be most appreciative.
Well, I would understand that because I'm a graduate of Queens College when it was free, and the reason I went there was because it was free, and my parents couldn't afford to send me away.
And I'm a graduate.
So I
went to
understand what you're
college,
saying.
And I went to Hunter for the same reason, and so I understand.
Thank you.
Linda, I've known you for a very long time. I've known you for a very long time. I knew that you had the educational background that certainly will bring an asset to the college. But I also know that you worked not only with the teachers, but the administrators as well. And it's very key to be able to open up the communication lines so that things can be solved in a very, very sensible way so that Nassau Community College will continue to flourish. I am a big fan of Nassau Community College. I had the opportunity to take some courses after my graduate work. And let me tell you something, they were the best years that I've spent in getting educated. I will tell you that I do have a great deal of respect for Nassau Community College. And I know you're going to bring sanity to that board because of all of the experience and the fact that you had that experience in the city of New York, which was not easy, as I have had for 26 years, being a teacher in the city of New York. So I wish you the very best. And I know that, Linda, you're replacing, and I don't know how I don't know if the word replacing is accurate, but Mary Adams, who I knew for a long time, was a very dear and conscientious person on that board. And I know she brought a great deal of wisdom to it, and I know you're going to follow in her footsteps.
I'll do my best.
Thank you very much. And Legislator Becker.
Ms. Green, you and I have been friends for many, many years, and I was never aware of your really amazing resume, a very in-depth educational resume, and it just seems to me you're the perfect fit at this particular point in time for the board. By the way, there's a lot of good people serving on that board, but the acrimony sometimes in picking a new president, that's where it's all coming from. Hopefully that'll be resolved, and I think you'll get them there. And I just want to thank you for your service to this county at this time. It's really probably most needed, some of your integrity and your resume. So thank you for serving.
Thank you. As I said, I'll do my very best.
I'm sure you will.
Okay, any other comments regarding Linda Green's appointment to the college? There being none, all those in favor of Ms. Green's appointment to the college board signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, the confirmation is unanimous. Okay, congratulations.